Hello, welcome, Cabbage here. So, it's day 365 of my JP account of Monster Strike. Pretty big day. And yeah, certainly a lot has happened in the last year. Of course, I was upset when the global version of the game shut down. Because, you know, you lose your count, you lose your progress, you lose the Hatcher monsters that you've pulled. But my game here in JP is now at a point where I would not want to trade it for my old global account. I feel really good about where I am with the JP account, so let's have a look at that today. First, we'll go here to missions. We'll collect the 5 orbs for the 365 days. Thank you. And then next, let's go to the grade sheet. I am rank 330, which I think is pretty high for 1 year. I never went really hard on, just going through the normal quests to raise my rank. But of course I would get I got the Genius Ableberry very quickly, and then I would go through there more to sort of, raise ranks and then restore my stamina so I could keep playing, rather than just doing it purely for the rank. But yeah, looks like I've logged in every single day for 365 days. I have no life, maybe. No, I'm just kidding. And then, let's see, some other stuff. Here are the items that I have. Hopefully I can make a video soon where I will use some Hero Scroll and then the Waku Waku Stick and then some Waku Waku Meat. That should be coming in the next few days, I hope. And here I have 73 max lux. I'd say that's pretty good for a year. I've been very picky about which max lux I want to make. We'll look at that later, but we'll see that, yeah, kind of my standards are high for which max lux I want to make. And then I've unlocked all of these abilities. And then the bottom one here, the stamina, this appears maybe once a day if I'm playing, pretty regularly. So that's great to have. Very, very grateful to have that. That was worth getting the 65 max lux just all by itself. And then here, these are the most used characters. Ibaraki Dolji Ascension still up there because she has the Genius Ableberry. She has her Transcendent form now, which I will now use for raising my rank if I ever go through that anymore. I don't think I will, because I feel like I have enough stamina, to last me for, a good play session, so. Next up is Shinji Kaoru. I've been using them a lot, over 1,000 times. I have multiples of them, so that's why that is there. And then Ducky, really like her. Hendrickson, I have not been using lately. I use him a lot in the beginning. He was one of my first max lux. And then he's very versatile, so that's why he's up there. Undine is great. She is my metal farming character. I'll show you that later. Susano I also got early, so that's why I used him a lot. Nadeko, I also got her early, so I used her a lot. Meliodas is really solid. I still use him now, although not as often as I used to. The game was at a point where you needed him a lot, but not so much these days. Hikari is great, and Mikumo is great. And then let's look by element, see if there's anything interesting in here. I really, really like Alexandrite, and actually I've used her more than Mana. She's really, really strong. Very simple character, just a pierce, no damage roll, but she's great. Otherwise, Mikhail, she's probably my favorite angel of all of the 10 that are out now, so every chance I get, I use her. She's great. And then here's Fukahide. He's one of my favorite max lux. I'm really happy that I made this guy, and I really recommend him for anybody. I think that'll do it for red. And then here's Bante. He's my metal farmer as well. He's cool. Alright, let's look at water next. I love Miroku, both of her versions. And I really like Nostradamus Ascension. I think she's still an underrated character. But about in the last year, she's really kind of risen little by little as far as her usefulness. I remember when Tsukuyomi was first released. People were like, where am I ever going to use this character? But little by little, there are more and more missions for her, and now she's one of the best max lux. And Nostradamus is also really, really good now, I think. Otherwise, got some more Max Lux, Yamato Takeru, and Mirai Kanai. Alright, so that's how blue's looking. Whoops. Here is green. King is great, I use him everywhere. Nightingale I used a lot, but I've been using her a lot less lately since I finished the Max Luck of Mirai Kanai. Takasugi is pretty awesome. Very nice bump combo. And then I got my two Kushinadas up here, some other Max Lux, Marishiten, Jiraiya, and Waraberion. And actually Tanpopo, I guess I've been using her a lot too. She's not one of my favorite characters, but she's useful, so... Alright, let's look at Light. Juliet is great, I love her. Beelzebub also really good. And then because of those two characters, actually, I've been using Uriel less, so that's why she's behind them. And then Sanctuary Dragon, of course, some more Max Lux, Asuna Kirito, and Karen. And then I think that'll do it for Light. And then for Dark, the usual suspects. Oh, Lucifer! She really jumped up in the rankings. She is great, I have two of her, and she's awesome. I think she's really cool, her design, because they didn't actually change her too much from her original form, but then she just jumped to like maybe the best character in the game, so she's a lot of fun to use. And then some other characters that I used very early in the game. Anko, both versions of Pandora, yeah, some other guys. I'm probably going to stop using this Ascension version of Pandora. I never really liked her bump combo because you need to build a team around it and it's a little difficult to use. Lucifer has completely taken over her spot, so I'll probably stop using her. But the evolution form of Pandora is really, really good still now, so I still try to use her when I can. But yeah, that's how that's looking. Most hits and most damage, this has not changed for like the last 100 or 150 days. What else we got here? Number of play times. I still aim for like a 60% or higher win rate in Impossibles or Colossals. So let's see. About 2,400 plays, 1,500 clears, so I'm definitely over 50%, that's good. And then let's see, I've cleared the Tower of Champions 9 times. I have 1.5 Max Lux of Babel right now. I've cleared the Sealed Watchtower 9 times, I think that's what they say. 12 times? 9 or 12, but yeah, that's how that's looking. And I still remember the first time that I beat the Sealed Watchtower. I used a lot of free monsters. I think I was maybe like 2 or 3 months into the game, so I didn't have a lot of Hatcher monsters. Actually, that was when I was still free to play. I did beat the Watchtower with a lot of those free monsters, so that was a big accomplishment for me. So that's kind of cool to remember there. Alright, next let's go through and let's look at my Hatcher monsters. And then we'll sort by Abelberries. I think that's an easy way to do that. So the first Lucifer and the Undine here, those are my metal farming characters. They're really great for that. Let's see, who else is interesting? Ibaraki Dolji, I really like her, but I feel like her Transcendent form is not as good as a lot of other recent Transcendent forms, but still useful, so... really good for the next wave of temples where you can get Abelberries, so that's nice. Monster Rose, she's been really helpful lately. She's got nice slayers. Ganesha, really happy to have him. I have 2 of them now, actually. That was very lucky. This is the one that I want to use also for metal farming. Rei from the Evangelion Hatcher. I don't use a lot, but when I do use her, she's super duper useful, so I'm really happy to have her. And Monster Bright, I've actually been using a lot lately. I used her to make the Max Luck of Hotane. Sorry, him. I used him to make the Max Luck of Hotane. And yeah, you can see that I've been using him a good number of times. He's strong. His chain lightning is a little bit outdated, but he's really good overall, so happy to have him too. Seimei, one of my favorite early characters. He's, boy, he might be in the top, like, 10 strongest characters in the game right now, but he's really, really good. Let's see. Here's one of the new angels, the Sandalphon. I don't use her a lot either, but she's pretty solid. She's pretty solid. And let's see who else we got. Robin Hood. I pulled him fairly recently. He was one of my favorite Hatcher monsters from before when I had him in the global version, and I really, really wanted him in the Japanese version. So I got him recently, and I have been using him. He's still really good. He was useful in the Watchtower, so that's pretty great. Rinsu got a buff recently. He picked up Super No Warp and then also Dash, so he's really, really good. And I used him to finish a Max Luck lately. I'll talk about that pretty soon. Let's see. This is Atos. When he first came out, people were kind of about him, but he's really solid. I use him a lot, and yeah, just a good support character, a good damage dealer as well. Harley I pulled pretty recently. I got her from the Dark Hatcher, and then she's great. She's a bounce with Minesweeper, null damage wall. Not a lot of characters with that. There is Raphael. She's kind of like the most famous of that sling style double null ability combination. I wish I had her, but because I have Harley, I miss having Raphael a little bit less, so Harley's pretty great. Bon, I am super grateful to have this guy. I've used him a ton, as you can see. But yeah, very nice double null ability. And the drain is really, really good, especially in quests where you can pinch. And then I used him to make the max luck of Magnell and also Waraberion. He was pretty great in there. And I didn't think of it, but he is a good candidate for like score Ableberries or like S-rank Ableberries because he has the copy bump combo. When you are farming quests to get through it really quickly, you're almost always going to bring somebody with a strong bump combo. And so if Bon is your score Ableberry guy, he will always be relevant and useful because he can copy anyone's bump combo and get that full damage out. I hadn't thought of that until somebody mentioned it on a YouTube video, so that's kind of cool. I don't think I'm going to go that direction with him since I've already committed some other characters to that, but it's something to consider. He's really, really good. And still, copy is a pretty rare bump combo, so yeah. Again, Juliet I love, just super strong. Arthur. She has to get her Transcendent form this year. It's been a long time. The 5th year anniversary, I think, is coming up maybe next month or next month, and I think she will get the Transcendent form then. We'll see, we'll see. There's another Nostradamus. I pulled a ton of her, but it's good now to have a lot of her because of the second version of the Sealed Watchtower. A whole new group of characters is really useful, and one of them is Nostradamus, so to have multiples of her is really helpful. Here's Asuna. She was from the Sword Art Online collaboration, and then I kind of wrote her off when she was first, available. But now after using her, she's pretty darn good, so yeah, happy to have her as well. And then this is Ramyaru. I have one of her. I really, really want 2 or more, just because both versions of her are so good, and a little bit necessary. Especially for the Kinki no Goku, and then a little bit for the second version of the Sealed Watchtower as well. So I may go back and I might pull the Water Hatcher a little bit more. Yeah, she's enough of a reason to pull that, I would say. then here, more guys. Yep. More guys. Yep. Here is Shinon. This is the 5-star version. And I'm really happy to have the 5-star version of her. Because she has a very strong bump combo, which can help you get through 5-star and under quests pretty quickly. She can kind of fulfill that same role as 5-star Mana, who I would also like, but I don't have yet. Anybody else here interesting? Here's Mana, of course. Still maybe one of the best characters in the game. Really happy to have her. I'd like to have another, just for the 5-star version. Here is Gabrielle. She also may get the Transcendent form this year. But she's still really good, the Ascension form, and I use her a lot, even now. Really high speed, really high attack. Great bump combo. Great strike shot. Bump combo is so-so, but yeah. Anybody else? Nope, doesn't look like it. Alright. And then here are some newer characters that I haven't put the Ableberries on. Kirito's been good. Mu is really good, actually. The very high attack, and then the fact that he has critical, kind of breaks him, I think. What is it? Aizen Myo, that quest where Mu is pretty good. Even if he turns into a chick, he can still kind of one-punch the boss, which is really crazy. He's really strong. And then that crazy bump combo, or the strike shot. But yeah, I need to put more work into this guy and get him some good Ableberries, but he's really good. Oriol is also really good. She was also announced at X Flag Park along with Mu. And yeah, just that triple null ability, solid stats, and then a solid bump combo. It all makes her pretty darn good. She would be a pretty good character to do the reset marathon to start a new game on, even, I would say. And then here is Mori. I've only used him once, as you can see, but he's already one of my favorite characters. He's a Pierce with an 8-turn null everything, so very versatile. Also a double Slayer, Chain Lightning, so yeah, pretty good. I look forward to using this guy more in the future. Otherwise, I didn't make a video of this, but I pulled the red stars pretty recently. In order to get Kamille, I pulled her, so yeah, she is great. I am a thigh man when it comes to the ladies, so yeah, I very much like her artwork. But also I want to make the max look of Eschatology, so she will be great in there. And then as for Eschatology, I would say try to bring 2 Pierce characters with a lot of attack. So like Kamille, Sakamoto Ryoma, or Monster Rose. If you can get some kind of combination of 2 of those, I think that would really make Eschatology a lot easier, so. And who else we got? This is Arendite, and she's pretty great. She's been good for some Impossibles and Colossal quests lately, so yeah, this is the Evolution version. She's pretty darn good. And then, you might laugh, but this is Achilles, and I really like him. I only ever use him for Karuma in the Sealed Watchtower, but he pretty much breaks that mission. That was kind of an annoying mission. It took a long time, but Achilles really speeds it up, so he's pretty useful for that. I also pulled Maruduk lately, and he's pretty good. He's a Pierce Wood with a null gravity barrier, so you would think that Nightingale takes his place a lot. But he also has null block, and then a bump combo which kind of fills more of the screen than a Nightingale, and then also a meteor strike shot. So he's pretty darn good. I'm happy to have this guy. And then especially with the null block, he's useful for a lot of the Kai Impossible quests. So that makes him good for the second version of the Watchtower. And then we're getting a little bit older here. I recently pulled Kamui. He's still one of the most powerful characters in the game, so very happy to have him. Who else we got? I have lots of Murasaki Shikibu. She has one of my favorite artworks in the game, and this goes for all 3 of her versions. The evolution version, it's like a shy schoolgirl with some kind of magical incense, something or other, and she loves reading books. And then Hikaru Genji, who's that very beautiful man, comes out, and then in the end, they're getting along. Very cool character, and really strong too. A lot of people pay attention to the Ascension form because she's good for El Dorado, but the evolution is also really, really good. Pierce, double null ability, energy blast. Yeah, she's pretty good. And then moving on down. Don't have a lot to say about these guys. I'm really happy that I pulled Oragon. That was very cool. He was only available in the movie Hatcher, and there's no other version of him. He's useful for Tower of Champions, some levels of the Watchtower, like Marishten. You could use him in Brutus even, so... And who else we got? Shakespeare, he recently got a buff lately, so he's been fun to use. He has that same twin vertical laser that Tequila has, or Marguerite, so he's pretty darn strong. As we get down here, I have less and less to say. But yeah, that is how we're looking. I have many Lancelot X and Agnamut X. Every time I pull in the red stars, I get multiples of them, which is very frustrating. I still haven't pulled any Haitoku pistols, who I would like very much. Okay, so that was that. Next, let's look at my Max Lux. And then, between my Max Lux and my Hatcher monsters, I'm more proud of my Max Lux. Hatcher monsters you can get just through luck, but Max Lux you have to make and earn. So I'm really happy about these. Yeah, again, I have 73, so let's go through here and look at which ones are kind of special to me. First one is Ashura, and she's really underrated, I think. She's easy to use, no gauge, double null ability, and then really good at pinching. And she was great for me in making the Max Luck of Magmel. I use the Kai version of her with the 8-way laser, and that really sets off those counter-attack magnifying glasses very easily. But after I finished Magmel, then I gave her the round flash bump combo. And yeah, I need to give her a better Abelberry. Speed, she doesn't need any more speed. I would like to give her Sidekick just to buff up that round flash. Also really good is Izanami, even now. I recommend everybody make her if you haven't made her yet. Just the double null, high stats, she's just really good. And Fukahide I talked about earlier. And Yumiru, I really like him too. Pierce with a double null ability. And then he's got Minesweeper, not Flight, which is kind of rare for a drop monster. He's pretty solid. And then Kain, I really like him. Also a double null ability. Damage output is a little bit low though, I would say overall. Bump combo so-so, strike shot's pretty good, but yeah, overall damage output not so great. And Arcadia, I just finished him earlier this week. And as you can see, I've used him a lot even before I finished his Max Luck. He's really strong. He's basically a Hatcher monster that you can make a Max Luck of. But I would like to give this guy a Hero Scroll, give him an Abelberry, and then I think having multiples of this guy would also be really good, especially for the Watchtower, so that you can have lots of guys to choose from. And then Nirvana, finished him the other day. He's also very cool. Design-wise, he might be my favorite impossible monster, just in the game. But yeah, he's very cool. And then, this is kind of funny. My second oldest Fire Max Luck is Avalon. And yeah, I think she was my first Colossal Max Luck, so kind of special to me in that sense. I don't use her a ton, but maybe I'm just playing the wrong quests. But yeah, as you can see, I'm pretty picky about which Max Lux I want to make. It's like Impossibles, Colossals, Super Extremes, and then like limited time characters like Kefka or Yanpire. Alright, so that's red. Next is blue. Bishamonten I still really love. I am using her now to make the max luck of Kanan, although we are in the middle of the Rurouni Kenshin collaboration now, and I'll probably switch over to Shishio once I finish his max luck. But she's great for Kanan. She's got the meteor strike shots that she can, you know, take down lots of guys. I think especially for that last stage, she's good. Who else do I like? Yamato Takeru is still one of my favorite max lucks. Haven't used him a lot lately though. And that's partly because I made the max luck of Yamato Takeru 0. Same element of course, same double null ability. But this guy's a Pierce, and easier to use, I would say. Who else is good? Nirai Kanai, my oldest water max luck. I've used him a ton. Both before and after I made his max luck, so he's pretty darn good. I have the Strike Haste Ableberry on him, which is pretty useful. Alright, next up is green. I've been really liking this version of a Hijikata. He is a Pierce with no warp, no damage wall. He's from the Gintama collaboration. Pretty good bump combo, and then a very nice kind of a meteor-ish strike shot, so he's been great. Marishten, maybe one of my favorite max lucks. He's very cool. I got the sidekick Ableberry on him pretty quickly, which is nice for him because I have the Kai version with that double twin vertical laser, so he's pretty great. I kind of debate putting a hero scroll on him and also giving him strike haste, because that would make it easier for me to go for hit stops with his strike shot. But that's kind of a maniac sort of way of thinking, so I'm not going to go that far. Kushinada, still one of the best max lucks in the game, but don't really use her these days. Magmel is my favorite max luck right now. I haven't used them a lot, but with their copy bump combo, and then the double null ability with a pierce, really, really good. Really, really good. I recommend everybody make this one if you can. Some other max lucks. Kushinada 0, I think, is underrated. She's a bounce with a null gravity barrier and a null block, which is a nice double null ability. Good attack, decent bump combo. I'm going to use her to make the max luck of Armageddon, so that should be good. Okay, next up is Light. I'm really happy to get that I got the max luck of Onion Knight. He's got the job change strike shot where you can become somebody else, get their slayers, get their bump combos, so he's pretty useful. Otherwise, I used Elizabeth and Hawk a lot in the early game, 125 uses. Really, really low stats, but nice abilities. The Null Wind was very useful in Kain. She was my max luck in Kain. Also with the healing and then the wave bump combo. Yeah, pretty good. Otherwise, here's Eden. I've used him a bit, but not lately. Especially since I got the max luck of Magmel. I really preferred them instead. And then here's the max luck of Hotane. She was not too difficult, which was nice, because if you made the max luck of her, you got the Waku Waku stick. Otherwise, I don't know, I feel like my dark max lucks are not as strong as my other elements. I have Tsukuyomi, of course, and she's great. But yeah, that's about it. I've been using Anko a lot. She's really useful. The bounce with no gravity barrier and no warp. But yeah, those are my max lucks. Very, very proud to have these. And they are the reason why I would not trade this account for my old global accounts. But yeah, that is how we're looking. And I'm feeling pretty good about my first year in Monster Strike. I still feel that this is an amazing mobile game and I will continue to play it. I was thinking about it the other day, and like, 20, 30 years ago, a video game that was like constantly updated was just not something that was ever heard of before. It's kind of more similar to like Dungeons and Dragons, where you buy like, supplementary quest books or like class books, or like Magic the Gathering, where you buy like booster packs, new sets and that kind of thing. But it's in the form of a video game, which is very, very cool. So yeah, I will be continuing to play this and continuing to make videos, of course. Alrighty, so thanks for coming with me on this trip, my first year in JP. If you've also been following me through my years in global as well, you are very valued as a viewer. So yeah, we can look forward to the future in Monster Strike here. Alright, thanks for watching, and we'll see you again. Take care.